Hi everyone. In this video, we'll talk about volatility of the stock market and also the Gaussian distribution and how does that volatility will affect the price of the call or a put option. So let me start with a very simple example. So suppose if I have a starting point here and I am walking and I'm drunk and I'm just walking randomly here and there. And suppose if I'm in a supermarket, right? So if I move in the random direction, I'll move this way, this way, this way, this way. I do not know where I'm going, so I will keep moving here and there, right? So if you will ask me that, uh, suppose my loved ones will come and look for me, then they will try to find me, right? And they don't know where I am because I'm drunk. I'm just moving around close to the close to the shopping mall. So they will see that, okay, I need to look somewhere around around the market, and the guy is on this. I'm just walking, so I cannot go to it that far. So if they look for me, they will think that the probability of finding me near the market is very very high, or actually in the market is very high, and the probability of finding me close by is still there, but probability of finding me in the next city or several miles away is very less, right? So if they look for me, they will say that the probability of finding me is near the near the market. So that's the probability. So this is probability, and this is the distance. uh, so, and this is the distance, right? So this is how the probability concept of probability works. Now if they get late in finding me, and they took 2 days to look for me, and I have suppose a lot of energy and I'm still walking around randomly, then it is more likely that I might walk too far away from the market. So if they wait too long, then the probability of them to find me will decrease in the supermarket, but will increase in the approximate areas. So the probability in that case would look something like this. So now probability decrease. So this is t is equal to 2 days, and this was t is equal to suppose 1.5 day, half day, right? So this is how, if you and if they take like infinite time, they take like lot of time, and uh, now like suppose they take a month, and now they go and look for me, then I'm not gonna be sticking around in the market. I can be anywhere. So in that case, the probability will look like this, like a flat line, and that will be equal to t is equal to infinity, right? So this is how the probability works, right? Now if in so this is one of the example. In the another example, instead of walking, I'm again uh, at the market, but I have a car now. So if I have a car, then the probability will be much higher for me to go to the farther places, or I can reach out more to the other places. So my movement will look more like this. So uh, I'm driving randomly uh, everywhere. So I can be anywhere, right? So in this case, uh, if I draw the same kind of probability, so my probability will look something like that. So from the beginning itself, it will look something like this. And if I wait for more time, so this should be the green one. So let me make it green. This green one, and the red one will. Oh, sorry. This should be the black one, and the green one will already be flat. So the probability will be higher for me to go to farther places. So this is how the probability and the Gaussian distribution works. Now if I go to the same scenario, if I go to a stock, now this is a stock here, right? And this is the price, um, this is the price, and this is the time, right? So now I'm looking at a stock in a pure mathematical way, and I cannot I'll assume that I cannot predict whether it will go up higher in the price or lower in the price, and I don't know. But I know that there's a lot of news coming, and then the news comes that stock can go up or down based on the news, right? And this is what I call the perturbation in the system. So when the news will come, it will start to deviate. And now suppose the stock is walking. So now this is the analogy to what I uh, taught before. So now the stock is walking. So when it is walking, it will move like this randomly. So now stock is also like a drunk person. It doesn't know whether to go up or down, right? So it's randomly moving uh, in random directions. It'll move like this. Now suddenly something happens. Now people are worried about recession. Something comes from the foreign countries, or there is some uncertainty in the market, or some there is some kind of panic which is there in the market. Now the stock now is on the car, so it is not walking, so it's on the car, and now it can move way up and down like this. Now again stock doesn't know where to go, right? So this is much higher. So this is how the stock will look. So now if I call this one, I'll call this as walking, and this is his car, right? Or I can say that volatility is higher and volatility is lower. So now how does the volatility matters in terms of options or stocks? So now what will happen is, so suppose now if I draw the same kind of probability distribution, so what the stock will look like is this. So if this is the probability, and now this is the price, right? So now right now the stock is at this point. Now if the stock is walking, then the distribution will look something like this, right? So this is walking, and if the stock is on the car, then the distribution will look something like this. So it can go anywhere, right? In this case it is less likely that it will go farther, right? So this is probability, this is scar, this price, this is current price, and this is also current, right? So now suppose if you are someone who wants to sell a put option, so you can say that, yeah, the scenario is that if I sell a put at this point, then it is very less likely that the stock will go to this point, so I can sell a put here, right? So sell put, but in this case it is very likely that, yeah, the stock can come to this price, so you will not sell a put, not sell put, right? So like I'm just giving example here. You may want to sell a put based on, because you will get higher premium. So that's why, if you, because the likelihood of stock reaching at this point is much higher, so the put price, so put price is so put are expensive and put here will be cheaper. So this is how the volatility will make the option price change, and same case also applies for the call. So now you can use this concept to make money by uh, by using volatility as your tool to make money. For example, so suppose you have a very stable stock, although there is nothing stable in today's world, but still, so for example, if I have a company which is very stable, and the distribution looks something like this, right? Now in this case, you will look at the probability of this stock reaching here. So the probability at reaching here is only, suppose, so this probability is only 2%. This is price, this is probability, and this is price, and the likely case of the stock reaching here is 2%. So what you can do is you can buy a put, right? Now as the time will progress, you will lose money on the put, because there is a theta, but eventually there will be a panic in the market. So when there is a panic in the market, now the situation will look something like this, right? So this probability will increase a lot. Sorry. So now the probability maybe is 10%. So in that case, the value of the put will go significantly higher. So then you have to sell the put. So that's how you can make the money. So in both scenarios, it is very less likely that the stock will go that far, but you eventually made the money irrespective of whether the stock will go higher or lower, by just playing with the volatility. The same thing you can do is sell a put here and then buy a put here. So this could be step one, and this could be step two, or it could be vice versa. So this is how you can make money with volatility. I hope this video helped, and I'll see you again. Thank you. Hi everyone. In this tutorial, we'll talk about the simulation of random walk of large number of particles. In the previous tutorial, we talked about the simulation using Excel sheet of one particle, and here I will show you how to simulate the random walk for large number of particles. So let's define the particles first. So let's say I have particles particle 1, and then I have particle like this, like suppose I have 100 particles like this, and then define the position. So let's define time is equal to 0, and position x and y are both 0. So all of the particles starts at origin, and so now this is our x and y. Now to define the movement, let's say time is equal to 1, and now because it's moving in the random direction, so we have to define a random variable. So let's assume that we want it to move in any direction, so and it should take a step either positive direction or negative direction. So how do we uh, simulate that random step. So for that we need a random number, and as I told you in my previous tutorial also, so random number in Excel is equal to rand and parenthesis. So this will give you a number between, so you can double click and say enter again, so you can see it give you a number between 0 and 1. And if you have to define a number between 0 and 2, you multiply this number by 2, and this will give you a number from 0 to 2. And if you have to define a number between -1 and 1, you subtract this number from 1. So how does it work is like, so it give you a random number between 0 to 2, and if you subtract it from 1, then it will give you -1 to 1. So suppose if I get a number less than um, 0.5, because from rand from rand I can get mine less than 0.5. So if I multiply by 2, it will be less than 1, and then if I subtract it from 1, it will be greater than 0. And if same way I can get less than 0. So you can think about it, and it's not that tough. So now we defined this number, and same way we can define this number again. And you can see I have two numbers, and then what I can do is I can take this step and add the initial step into it. So I say initial step plus this step. So this is not difficult, and you can say enter, and similarly I can drag it here, and you can see, so for y also I added a random number. So this is your movement at time 1, and you can uh, drag that again into the 100 particles, and you can see, so this is your position at time 1. Now what I'll do is I'll copy the same thing and paste it here. So what will happen, because this is a beauty of Excel sheet, that now because I copied it and I didn't put any dollar signs on the numbers, I can see, you can, if I double click on this and check the formula, so what it does, it automatically move the cell from B4 to E4. So now you can see that now I'm adding a random step to the position which was there at time is equal to 1. Now you can see that, so my position, uh, so this is my position at time 1, and this is position 2, and I can do the same thing again and again, so as many times I want. So I say V, and then, so let me, I'm not updating the time again and again, so let's delete the time and then do it again and again. So you can see, you can see this, that I can generate the walk like this. So actually if you use VBA, then you can do this automatically, you don't even have to paste this, but this is more of a conceptual programming. I wanted to show you the concepts, and that's why I'm doing it this way, because this make it much easier to understand. Otherwise you can just update the same cell again and again. You can see my simulations, some of the simulations I've shown, that it's not a tutorial but just a demonstration on how you can generate the movement of the particle. There's a nice animation on the another YouTube video, but here I'm just showing you the concept. So now you can see, so let's see, if I plot this points, say insert and say points, so you can see all of the points, so all of the points are at 0. So you can see all of the points are here at 0. Now if I plot these points, you can see that they have moved with time. So you can see that they have diffused away, right? And now if I plot these points, so you can see they are much more scattered now. And now if I plot these points, so they are much more scattered. and because right now the scale is not defined, so that's why you don't see the difference. So I can define the scale, and then you will see the difference. So let's do that. So what I can do is select this scale and say format axis, and say fixed -10 and maximum 10, and same way for this axis, and say format axis fixed -10 to 10, and say close, right? And then let's delete this point, and let's take this point and say format axis fixed -10 and +10. You can see, oh, this one is format axis fixed -10 and 10, and now you will see the difference. So I can, let me make them same shape. Fixed 10 -10. This is already 10, but I want to fix it, so close. Now you can see the, so what I'll do is I'll double click on any cell and say enter. So you can see that at t is equal to 0, the particles were all at one place at 0, and then they diffuse away from the center, and with the time their movement from the center, or their distance from the center, increases, but it does not increase uniform, like the particles are not moving only farther away, they are moving in the random direction, but by probability some of the particle reaches farther away from origin as compared to the others. So this is just a demonstration of the concept. And if you know VBA, I have also provided a tutorial on how to use VBA. So in that case you can really use the animations, so you can animate this movement of particles, and the particles will move in the random direction. So this is the conceptual work, and I hope this will help you understand the concept which is behind simulating the random walk. So I hope this tutorial will help, and if you have any questions, please comment on the YouTube, and if you like the video, please do give us your feedback. Hello everyone. In this tutorial I will show you how to simulate Brownian motion in an Excel sheet. To simulate a Brownian motion, we need to have a command called rand. So that is equal to rand and parenthesis. So this give a random number between 0 and 1. If we want a random number between -1 and 1, we need to modify this equation such that 1 minus 2 into rand, and then this will give us a random number between -1 and 1. Now I can copy this number again into another column. So I have two random numbers, and I can call this one as dx and this one as dy. And now I can let me center them. So now we can write 1 because it's the first number, and then now we can define x and y. So let's suppose x and y. So our initial position of the molecule will be at 0, and then it will move in a random direction of dx and dy. So to find the position of x, we have to say x is equal to x plus dx, and same here, say y is equal to y plus dy. Okay, so now we can copy these numbers to generate more dx dy's and then subsequently x and y. So let me center them. And now if we want to simulate this a walk for 100 steps, then all I need to do is to copy them and go to 100 numbers. So this is 100 here. So now I have a random walk of 100 steps. So now if I choose this 2 column and insert a graph, then I can see that I have a chart which predicts the path of a molecule which is taking a random walk. So if I click on any cell 2 times and then press enter, this path changes. So what is a random walk? Random walk is if any particular thing which is moving in random direction without any bias for a particular direction and takes several steps, then that thing can end up at any position. And if you want to see that what that position will be, for that we can simulate a random walk. So every time we simulate a random walk, the end position can be anywhere within this graph, as you can see. So I hope this tutorial will help. Thank you. Hi everyone, in this tutorial we will talk about call put parity. In last tutorial we discussed what is a call option and what is a put option, but let me give you a small introduction to call and put option before we go to call and put parity, and that will also help me explain the call and put parity if I explain you what is a call and what is put. So let's talk about the call option. So if we have a call option that gives us the ability to buy a stock at a given price, so we define the price to be K. So here what happen is, so this is your value. So your value will increase only when the stock price, so this x-axis is the stock price and the y-axis is the value of the call, and we call it call. So what happen is that it gives you the ability to buy the stock at price K. So if it's below the value of K, then you will the call option is worthless, but if it's above the value of K, then you will make money, or the value to the call option will come, and that will be equal to the difference between the stock price and the strike price. And if you look at the put, then the put gives you the ability to sell the stock at a given strike price. So here if you look at the value of put, then you will see that the value increases as the stock price decreases, and this is your K. So now if we combine call and put together, so what will happen? So let's say that you buy the call and sell put. So in this case, if we combine both of them together, we'll see something like this. So this is your K. So we bought the call, so we will make money as it goes above the strike price of K, and because we sold the put, so we will lose the money as it goes below the strike price K. So this is your S, and this is value. So this is value of buy call and sell put. So now if you look at this chart carefully, this is equivalent to buy stock at price K. So this is obvious, right? Because your value increases when you then the stock price goes up, and it decreases when the stock price goes down, right? And so this is not the negative, but so now what we have to do is, so we can say that buying a call and selling the put is equal to buy stock at price K, right? Now suppose the actual price of the stock is not K but is S, so then you have to pay the difference. So that means the C minus P will be equal to S minus K. So let me give you an example. So suppose the stock is $12 and K is $10. So if you buy call and sell put at strike price K, then that is equal to that you are buying the stock at value 10, but actual value is 12, so you have to pay $2 here. So your C minus P should be equal to $2. Now we can add more complexity to this equation, but this is called call put parity, but this is more simplified version. We can add complexity here. So how do we add complexity? So now suppose the stock give you the dividend, right? But here you are not buying the stock, but you are buying the call and selling the put, and you are making it looks like that you bought a stock. So but you lose the dividend. So in this case you will say S minus dividend, whatever dividend you paid during the paid by the stock during the time you held this combination. And then because you are also doing one more thing is that instead of paying the price K or price for the stock right now, you are paying the price much later. So that means you are in a way gaining the interest on this value K. So you understand, like, you know that if you do this buy this call, sell this put, then your all you are investing is around $2, right? And then you are delaying the payment of $10 until the expiry, so you will pay $10 much later. So in a way you gain the interest on it. So in this case we'll say K minus interest. So that will be your more right way to write a call put parity. But now let's write it in in a more professional way. So here it will be S E minus minus RT, where R is the interest rate, and I'm assuming continuous compounding, and here it will be equal to K. Oh no, this is the dividend rate. Sorry, this will be the dividend rate. So we write dividend here, and here it will be E minus RT, where R is the interest rate. So gamma is dividend rate, and R is equal to interest rate. So I hope this will explain you the basic concept, and we can also use the call put parity to build synthetic call or synthetic put options, and we can talk about that later in the next tutorial. So thank you.